Halftime with Jason Richardson on 1116 SEN.
And all sports at the moment are finding that they need to condense the action. Bite-sized grabs for the consumers is the theme across all sports, and cricket T20 is a perfect example of that. And the sport of bowls is doing a similar thing, Michael. Andrew Holmes, I should say, of course, the superstar, Marketing Communications Manager from Bowls Australia, joins me. Holmesy, it's a great concept. I'm gonna say it's the T20 of bowls. Is that fair?
Good afternoon, Richo. That's very fair, mate, because that's exactly what we're calling it as well. So you introed it beautifully in terms of, I suppose, what we're trying to do in line with other sports, and we're just seeing currently the Fast Five in the netball space is also doing it. So this is a very fast, frenetic, action-packed, high-octane version of bowls.
Now, for people, everyone's played bowls. What's the key difference in the games?
Well, the key difference in this format, mate, is that, and I suppose we'll touch on the Australian Premier League, which is what is launching the new format here in Australia. But basically, some innovations that will enable the game to be played in a very short time frame. Bowls is traditionally a very long game to play, so matches will take the hour sort of mark to complete. But social bowls and barefoot bowls has been terribly successful over the last number of years, and what we are developing is a form of the game that can be put into the social barefoot bowls environment that will be played in a structured, competitive way, much like just sort of your night netball sort of competitions, but enabling people who have got busy lifestyles, family and work commitments to actually play it in a very condensed time frame, day or night, weekends alike, so that they're not consumed all day with a game of bowls. But also the social barefoot bowls component, which we're also familiar with, hasn't actually got a lot of structure about it in many parts of Australia. So this program that we rolled out throughout Australia called Jack Attack will be a controlled and organised form of the game.
And you'll be the envy of a lot of sports. You've got 4 nights of prime time live TV on Fox Sports, 6 p.m. till 10:30, and you're bringing in some big guns.
Richo, this is a new frontier for bowls in terms of live television. So the Australian Premier League, which kicks off in a week's time next Tuesday night in Brisbane at Club Pine Rivers, is, I suppose, the forerunner to the new format. It is the best of the best in terms of bowlers here in Australia. As you said, live television through Fox Sports, never happened before in the sport of bowls. In prime time, 6 o'clock here in Victoria and New South Wales, different time zones for other states, but it is live out of Brisbane from 5 p.m. Brisbane time. 6 teams, new teams, a team from New Zealand, very akin to the Big Bash model that cricket's been so successful in launching over the last 2 or 3 years. A team from Adelaide, Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, and as I said, New Zealand. And people who may or may not be au fait with the sport of bowls, they know the names of Steve Glasson, Kelvin Kirko, who's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Karen Murphy, the world number 1, Joe Edwards from New Zealand is playing. So it's going to be very, very exciting. And live TV is a magic coup. Oh,
that's right, for the Premier League. And I love the fact that you're aware of where bowls sits in the overall sporting landscape. And there's so many people out there that play it socially, have a beer while they're doing that. So this is certainly consumable for them. And then you give us, on the commentary with Fox Sports, you give us someone that we associate with bowls, whether he even plays it or not, in Mick Malloy.
Yeah, exactly. Mick's been fantastic to us over the last couple of years with some promotion that we've been trying to do. And Mick knows that Crackerjack, the great movie Crackerjack, certainly helped his career along, and we know that Crackerjack certainly helped bowls along. So it's a mutual love that we have, and he will be part of the commentary through Fox Sports. As you touched on, there's some innovations. We've introduced power plays for double points. There's a sub and a super sub option for coaches to implement, which is something completely new, and also a shot clock. So as I said, bowls generally drags on throughout the course of any Tuesday afternoon or Saturday afternoon when people generally play the sport competitively. This will certainly be able to fast-track the sport. It's 2 sets of 5 ends, very fast, very frenetic, and we are hopeful and very confident it's a good TV product.
Yeah, that's right. 30-second shot clock, that's a ripper, because I've seen elite bowls, and it can drag on a little bit. We're getting a little bit like when I drove out of the Flemington Racecourse, and there was the Kensington, I think it is, Bowls Club, packed with people in bare feet. The beers were flowing. The action was nice and quick. I think that's what it's all about, and it'll be a perfect sport for Fox Sports. So congratulations for the Australian Premier League. You've brought it in. Hope you get some great figures in regards to Fox Sport, and hopefully this is just the start of this sport getting a little bit more prominence and a little bit more exposure. Holmesy, thanks so much for your time, bud.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate your time, mate.